right, so we're going to look at making molds, little press molds. I started these a little while earlier. I have a couple more to start here. But this clay is a little stiffer, and you kind of want your clay to be softer when you initially create your mold. So I wanted to show you these so that you could see how to finish them up. So I've got two started. But initially you're going to take some clay that's soft, and you're going to make a little log. And cut it into pieces, depending on how big of a mold you want to make. Got some things that I wanted to make molds of. Where did they go? Really giant hex bits and some other things. I think they got moved yesterday. Oh well, I guess we're not doing that. Anyway, so you want to take your little log of clay and flatten one end out and just sort of roll it so it tapers like that. And make several blanks depending on what it is you want to make. Like if it's something bigger like that, you want to make a bigger surface to press into, or to press your object into to make the imprint. I hope y'all can see me okay. So if you want to make a imprint of something bigger, you want a bigger surface. If you're doing something small, like this little shell right here I'm going to make a mold of, yeah, do a little piece of clay. Just tap the end, tap, tap, tap. Somebody's been cutting wood on my canvas tabletop. Let's see. Got the end of this glass cutter. It's a nice round surface. It'll be fun. Found a little bitty nut. A little nut. That's a nut that didn't fall too far from the tree. Ha ha. Funny. This is a neat one. I have a larger mold of this same shape. This hex bolt is really cool. It's got some writing marks imprinted on it, so that could be a fun little addition to my pieces. Find stuff that speaks to you, okay? My husband has tons of tools, and half of his, or most of his stuff is in here with mine, and so I have a plethora of things to choose from mechanical. So that's kind of what I'm doing. I made a mold of this rivet. See that? It's riveting. And I want to make a mold of this lock part right here. I think that would be cool. So to do that, I'm going to need to double this over. Yeah. Make a really big surface. The reason I roll it out like that is because you want this edge to be pretty nice. It's going to get kind of messed up when you make the imprint, and we'll fix it later. But like I've said before, if you start out with good craftsmanship, your finished product will also have good craftsmanship. Oops. Somebody's been cutting wood on my canvas tabletop. Kind of like when kids cut glass on the canvas. I'm not a big fan of that either. Okay, that's not quite Once you get your blanks done, you can press them into your object, onto the surface. And that didn't go in very well. Okay, press harder. I hope I don't mess up the lock. I won't get in trouble. Guess it's sort of the same thing as him cutting wood on my tabletop. Oh, there it is. Still didn't come out very good. I'm going to try again in a little bit when this is a little stiffer and not so sticky. Marginal. That was ambitious. Okay, this guy. Found it at, it's a little fossil from, what is it, the Pennsylvanian era? 300 million years old. And it is just this little shell shape that my husband and I found tons of these fossils at Possum Kingdom Lake in September. It was really awesome. So this has undercuts in it. Undercuts are where the surface goes back in like that. You don't want to go over the undercut, because if you do, you won't be able to get your clay out, or your object out for that matter. So we just stop just shy of that and carefully encourage this to come out without denting the clay. Yay, I got it! And set it aside. Now notice they don't look very pretty right now. We can fix them later. We'll do our little nut. And sometimes I'll even just leave them in there for a little while. And come back later when the clay's a little stiffer to pick them out. I hear my neighbor messing with this truck. Yeah, that one's gonna wait. All right, this one's cool. You don't see these very often. It is a hex bolt with a Phillips head opening. So I'll use this one. Nope, use this one. I'm just squishing that clay around it. And since it has a handle, I can pull it out now. Just kidding. We're gonna have to wait for that to stiffen up too. This clay is real oogie soft, so I'm sure y'all have noticed that. There. Leave that. Okay, if you'll notice, when you make your molds, the edge is a little bit off from the circumference of the inside of the mold. After this stiffens up, I will clean it up with a knife and make it even, so that when you're placing these, you'll have an even distance between the edge and the center on all sides. It makes centering them a lot easier. So it's a lot of trial and error before you get one that you really like and it works. Anything that you can press into the clay will work, as long as it's not like porous or has a bunch of undercuts. It'll be okay. and it helps when the clay is a little stiffer than fresh out of the bag. So what I would do, if I were you, I would make your little plugs, your blanks, leave them for a while, and then come back, press your stamps, not too long because you want the clay soft enough to imprint any texture that may be on there. Okay, you're just gonna stay there with your hat. Okay, and then when you come back later, and the clay's pretty stiff, you can use a knife, some ribs, to clean up the surface. It's pretty nice, actually. This is the rivet I did. It's riveting. Bad jokes, bad jokes. I want to shave just a little bit off this edge here. This clay is almost leather hard, so that's the texture you want or the stiffness you want at when you clean it up. That's what the surface of the mold looks like. And then you can cut away some of the outside. Make sure this is nice and flush. Decent. And there's a little press mold right there. So if you can get some press molds made between now and Monday, then we can get them fired for you and get them back so that hopefully back in time to incorporate them into your artwork while we're on this little staycation school at home thingy. So here is did a little half circle right there. Again, it needs that edge to be cleaned up. It's kind of like peeling an apple. And this one, the surface got a little marred. And since I have this right here, I can go back in and reshape it. Boom. Have a little nice half circle mold. Smooth out the lip. I need a little more adjustments to it because this edge is a little wonky still. What I think I'm going to do is let it stiffen up just a little more and get a rasp on this edge, just a touch, ever so lightly, to make it a little bit better. Okay. That's that. Have fun. Go around, find things you like, think about motif, think about what interests you, anything that's small and doesn't have any undercuts that could fit easily on the surface of your clay, like that, could be turned into a mold. Okay? Have fun. Bye.